Hare Krishna, welcome to the session on Mukunda-Mālā-Stotra. Today we'll discuss a new Sloka, glorifying the holy name. Yesterday we discussed Sloka number 37, idam śarīram shatasandhi-jarjaram patatyavashyam parin āma-peśalam किमौषधं पृच्छसि मूढधुर्मते निरामयं कृष्णरसायनं पिबा. So in this shloka, Kulshekar Alvar is recommending everyone to drink the nectar of Sri Krishna Katha and Sri Krishna Nama. So this body, material body, is tend to decay. With time, everything, this matter has to deteriorate. Anything that is made up of the Panchamaha Bhuta, earth, water, fire, air, ether, it will decay. As time goes by, everything will decay. And with old age and diseases, there will be problems. So, while doing what is needful to do, while taking the external medicine that we need to take, while taking that external medicine, we should also take this internal medicine, Sri Krishna Nama and Sri Krishna Katha, which will give us the strength to tolerate the problems and go beyond. Jarjaram, the word jarjaram means trembling. Okay? Like when in old age, when you have these knee joint pains, as you are walking itself, there will be music coming from those joints. There will be sound coming from those joints. Jarjaram, that is jarjaram. Idam śarīram shatasandhi jarjaram. Shatasandhi, hundreds of joints. There are more than 100, but hundreds of, not just 100, but hundreds, a few hundreds uh, of joints, or maybe few thousand joints. Patatyavashyam parināma-peśalam. Kimaushadham prachasi mūఢధుర్మతే niramayam Krishna rasayanam piba. Especially when people have, even though Kulshekar Alvar is talking about the joint pains here, Shatasandhi Jarjaram means joint pains, even though he's talking about one type of disease, but we should take it in a broader way. It is applicable to all types of vyadis, especially when people have these terminal diseases. It's very difficult. It's very painful, especially cancer and all those things. It's very painful. Even if you take external medicine, it is painful. Even if you don't take, it is painful. So you don't know what to do there actually. The family members and the patient can't decide anything, right? So the family members, they cannot just sit quiet without giving any treatment to the patient. But at the same time, the problem with treatment for terminal diseases like cancer is that it will increase that pain. Like radiation and chemotherapy, they increase the pain. Because they kill the good cells also. Yeah. And the radiation, it's very powerful. The heat and everything is very powerful. So that is the nature of and even for normal problems, normal diseases, even if you take any medicine, it has some side effects. It may temporarily cure that particular disease, but there will be side effects. So there is no easy solution for problems in material world, especially diseases, old age and diseases. There is no easy solution to prevent old age. Especially the celebrities, they use so many
కదా.
cosmetics, and we know what happened to Michael Jackson. We know what happened to Sridevi. We know what happened to many celebrities. So the cosmetics and the treatment they take to to postpone old age, to avoid wrinkles on the face and all those things. In fact, they will cause more problems in the long run. So even though the external medicine temporarily will give some relief, but eventually that's not the solution. So that's why it is best to lead a sattvic life. Sattvic life means eat sattvic food, uh, live a simple life, simple living, high thinking. There are, few sattvic things. So let's look at those sattvic things. What are the different sattvic things? Satvika Janma, Satvika Desha, Satvika Ahara, Satvika Samskara, Satvika Sangha, Satvika Agama. Agama means the Agama Shastra. Not Agama, Agama. Satvika Agama, the Vedas, Puranas. Within the Vedas and Puranas, within the Puranas, there are three types of Puranas: Satvika Purana, Rajasika Purana, Tamasika Purana. We should only read Satvika Agama, Satvika Purana. Satvika Kala, that means a time that is in the mode of goodness, especially in the morning. Satvika Karma, activities that are in the mode of goodness. Satvika Mantra. Within the mantras, there are again three types of mantras: Satvika Mantra, Rajasika Mantra, Tamasika Mantra. So we should only chant Satvika Mantra. If some Babaji, in India, they recommend some mantra, some puja to worship Kali Mata, or some puja to worship Durga Devi, or some puja to worship some ghost or something. They are all in Rajasic mode, Tamasic Rajasic mode. So we should only chant Satvika mantra, Satvika dhyana. So these are the different types of Satvik elements. So if we follow this, then we can avoid most of the diseases. And according to prarabdha karma, if there is something that has to happen, then we cannot avoid it. But at least when we chant Krishna's name, when we hear Krishna Katha, the the suffering will be reduced, the pain, the intensity of the pain will be reduced. So so these are the things we have to follow. Okay, so we will so what else we discussed about this shloka? Patatyavashyam parinama-peśalam. That's why in Bhagavatam it is said how rare it is to get a human birth, and and even after getting that human life, it is temporary. Durlabho manusho deho dehinam kshanabhanguram tatrapi durlabham manye vaikunta priyadarshanam. Durlabho manusho deho. It is very difficult to get this human life. Dehinam kshanabhanguram. Even after getting this human life, this human body is kshanabhanguram. We don't know when this body will deteriorate. We don't know when the functioning of the body will stop. We don't know when we will die. So today I was in the temple just before joining the call. I was in the temple doing arati. So one lady came. So she's in her mid 30 or maybe almost 40 maybe. So she said her husband is in India and she's undergoing some surgery today. They are removing one of the kidneys. So she asked me to do some archana and then pray for him. So, so like that we see many people every day. Almost everybody gets these problems. Nobody can avoid it. So Steve Jobs, after leading a very successful, glorious life, in the end, when he was on the hospital bed, suffering from cancer, and when he was on the hospital bed, he wrote a letter. I'm sure many of you might have seen that. He wrote a letter to the public as a piece of advice that uh, don't sacrifice your life for the companies. Take out some life, take out significant amount of time for yourself. Spend quality time for yourself. Because in the end, the companies are not going to save you. And he said, if I if I had a choice, to live life again, I wouldn't live the life that I have led. Rather, I would lead a simple life to to spend quality time with family, quality time for myself, quality time to introspect, quality time to contribute in a meaningful way to the society. So he wrote all these good piece of advice, some wisdom in that letter. So that's why before it is too late, we should take it seriously, and there's no need to work extra hard. There's no need to work until 70, 80 years. So kimaushadam pruchasi mooda dharmate. But the illusion is, even though the the bodily problems, they are inevitable, avashyam, patatyavashyam. The body, the deterioration of the body is inevitable, avashyam. But what will the jivas think? What will the people think? They think that their money, their power, their name and fame, the people who are supporting him, they can save him. But that's not possible. Nothing can save. So taking medicine to get rid of these temporary problems is a patchwork. But we should look at permanent solutions that will give us permanent happiness. That is taking care of the soul. So instead of spending all the time taking care of the body only, we should spend time taking care of the soul also. Niramayam Krishna Rasayanam Piba. So this is the aushadam, this is the medicine, and we have discussed that shloka, Vyamoha Prasham Aushadam, the 6 types of medicines. How this Krishna Rasayanam or Krishna Aushadam, Krishna Nama, Krishna Mantra, Krishna Katha, what are the 6 benefits that it will give? It will remove the illusion, material illusion, and it will help the yogis and even bhakti yogis to practice their yoga sadhana. And this is the life-giving sanjeevani for everybody, for all the jivas in the 3 planetary systems, upper, middle and lower. In the upper planetary system, there is unlimited amount of enjoyment. In the lower planetary system, there is unlimited amount of suffering. So the best case scenario is middle planetary system, Bhuloka, especially Bhuloka. That's why even Devatas pray to Vishnu to take birth in Bhuloka, so that there is neither too much of enjoyment nor too much of suffering. It's moderate. So if we are thinking the suffering in material world, what we are going through in life is too much, then look at what the Devatas are praying. Devatas are praying that life on Bhuloka is the best. Because only on Bhuloka we have the opportunity to get this medicine. This medicine is not available in Svargaloka. This medicine is not available in Patalaloka. This medicine is available only in Bhuloka to the maximum extent. Time to time, Narada Muni goes to Svargaloka and Patalaloka also. Just like how, in India, when there is a medical shop, what do? The medical representative, he will carry a bag and he will carry some samples of medicine, and he'll go to every street, almost every door to door, marketing those medicine. But you don't get, when you contact that medical representative, when that medical representative comes to your home, you don't get the complete set of medicine. There'll be either sample or there'll be just a pamphlet, brochure, flyer will be there. So similarly, Narada Muni, even though he goes to Svargaloka and Patalaloka, he's like that medical representative who is advertising the Krishna Aushadam. But the actual Aushadam is available only on Bhuloka. Neither Svargaloka nor Patalaloka. So that way we are so fortunate. If we are thinking the knee joint pains or leg pains, hand pains, stomach ache, kidney pain problem, cancer, lung problems, these problems are too much, then look at what the situation of Svargaloka Vasis and Patalaloka Vasis. So even though they are temporarily happy in Svargaloka, but eventually when they fall down, after their punya karma is exhausted, Shine Punya, what is that shloka in Bhagavad Gita?
Shine Punya Martyalokam Vishanti.
Kshine Punya Martyalokam Vishanti. Yeah. Tarat line? Kshine Punye Martyalokam Vishanti. So that shloka says in Bhagavad Gita that Kshine Punye, after their punya karma is exhausted, Martyalokam Vishanti, they will fall down into this Martyalokam.
Etam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam, Shine Punye Martyalokam Vishanti, Evam Trayi Dharmya Manu Prapannaha, Gata Gatam Kama Kama Labhante.
Gata Gatam Kama Kama Labhante. Yeah. So, yeah, good. సరిత, మీకు నెల్లూరు వాళ్ళ నుంచి గట్టి పోటీ ఉంది.
నెల్లూరు వాళ్ళకి నెల్లూరు వాళ్ళే
నెల్లూరు వాళ్ళకి నెల్లూరు వాళ్ళే పోటీ.
ఇంకెవరు రాలేరు.
వెరీ గుడ్. గుడ్ సుకన్య, వెరీ గుడ్.
ఏ చాప్టర్ ప్రభుజీ?
నైన్త్ చాప్టర్. Okay, so we should feel happy. Don't worry too much about these problems. We should feel happy.
స్వర్గంలో వాళ్ళకి నొప్పులు ఏం రావా ప్రభుజీ?
నొప్పులు రావు, కానీ వాళ్ళు ఒకసారి భూలోకంకి వచ్చిన తర్వాత ఇంకా వాళ్ళకి ఎంత సఫరింగ్ ఉంటుందంటే, ఎందుకంటే వాళ్ళకి ఆ స్వర్గలోకంలో ఉన్న ఆనందము, ఆ ఎంజాయ్మెంట్, ఆ సంస్కార, ఆ ఇంప్రెషన్స్, ఆ వాసనలన్నీ ఉంటాయి. భూలోకంకి వచ్చిన తర్వాత ఇంకా వాళ్ళ సఫరింగ్ ఎలా ఉంటుందంటే ఆ కంపారిజన్ అన్నమాట. అయ్యో, స్వర్గలోకంలో నేను అలా ఉన్నాను, అంత హాయిగా, అంత ఎంజాయ్ చేస్తూ ఉన్నాను, ఇక్కడికి వచ్చి అడుగు తినేవాళ్ళ ఉన్నాను.
అంటే వాళ్ళకి పాస్ట్ లైఫ్ గుర్తుంటుందా?
ఆ ఇంప్రెషన్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఇప్పుడు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, ఇప్పుడు మనకి
గుర్తుండవు, వెరీ రేర్ కేస్.
రేర్ కేసు
గుర్తుండవు,
డీటెయిల్స్ గుర్తుండవు, కానీ ఎలా అంటే ఒక ఇంప్రెషన్ ఉంటుంది, ఒక మైండ్ లో ఒక సంస్కారాస్ ఉంటాయి. సో I'll explain you this. There are 3 types of problems. Parinama klesha, there are 3 types of kleshas. Parinama klesha, samskara klesha, parinama klesha, samskara klesha. The first one, I'll tell you. This is a very interesting thing to know. Parinama, tapa, samskara. So look at this. Look at this here. In the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, this is mentioned in Patanjali Yoga Sutras. These are the 3 types of problems, tapatraya. Another category of tapatrayas is adhyatmika, adi bhautika, adi daivika. Okay, but here in Yoga Sutra, Patanjali Yoga Sutra, what is he saying? There are the parinama and samskara are the key components of tapatraya, the threefold miseries or stressors described in yogic and Vedantic philosophy. In the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, they are listed as primary sources of dukkha, because ordinary pleasures are inherently impermanent and bind the mind. This concept breaks down into specific mechanisms of suffering. So parinama, suffering from change; tapa, suffering from distress; samskara, suffering from conditioning. So I'll give a simple example. For example, somebody likes mangoes, especially we are living here, right, in America. So we get Indian mangoes from India, and I think in another 1 or 2 weeks the mangoes will be over. The season will be over and we'll not get mangoes anymore. So when you are now I'll explain these 3 types of suffering using the mango example. Yeah. So when you have a basket full of mangoes, and that is the last basket, okay, you will not get anything else for this season. So as you are eating the mangoes from that basket, when you are at the last mango, imagine that you are eating one mango per day, and then after 10 days, all the mangoes are over. When you are eating the last mango, you're getting happiness. At the same time, you are getting distress, because you know that this is the last mango, and then you will not have anything else from tomorrow. So the suffering starts from there. And then the next day, what happens? There are no more mangoes. So the actual suffering starts from there. The seed of suffering started yesterday when you were eating last mango. You are experiencing both happiness and little bit of sadness. And the next day, the actual distress starts. And then after a few days, that samskara, that impression, that conditioning of happiness is there in your mind, but you cannot get the mangoes anymore. So suffering from conditioning. So that means anything that we enjoy in life, that's also a problem. Why? Because in the next life, if we don't get this happiness or enjoyment, then it will increase our suffering, because there is a conditioning, there is a samskara of happiness from the previous lifetime. Similarly, the Swargaloka vasis, there is a conditioning. There is so much of conditioning and samskara of happiness, unlimited enjoyment. They will not remember the details of past life, like whether I was an Apsara or Gandharva. They will not remember those. But the samskara will be there. Conditioning will be there. In this lifetime, for example, when when somebody is not getting food for eating, why do they suffer? Why do they cry and why do they suffer? Because there is an impression, samskara from the past life, that in the past life they had food, but in this lifetime they are not getting food, and because of past life conditioning, they are remembering that and thinking that, oh, in the past life I had food, but I am not getting food now. I mean, they will not think like this, but it all happens in a subtle manner. Okay, so that's why even the devatas pray to take birth in Bhuloka.
అంటే ఇంద్రదుమ్న మహారాజుకి ఆ యొక్క సంస్కారాలు ఉండబట్టే ఆ యొక్క పాటలు అవి పాడగలిగాడా గజేంద్ర మోక్షంలో? అలా కూడా తీసుకోవచ్చా?
యా, కరెక్ట్. యా, అంటే ఇంద్రదుమ్న మహారాజుకి గజేంద్ర విష్ణుమూర్తి బ్లెస్సింగ్స్ వల్ల ఆ శ్లోకాసు అవన్నీ గుర్తొచ్చాయి. బట్ అంటే ఎగ్జాక్ట్ లైన్స్ అవన్నీ గుర్తు రావాలంటే విష్ణుమూర్తి బ్లెస్సింగ్స్ ఈ లైఫ్లో కూడా ఉండాలి. అది ఎందుకు విష్ణుమూర్తి ఎందుకు బ్లెస్ చేశాడు అనేది మనం చర్చించుకున్నాం. ఎందుకంటే మీరు అప్పుడు లేరు కదా గజేంద్ర స్తుతి అప్పుడు. ఎందుకంటే గజేంద్రుడు ఎవరిని నిందించలేదు, తన కష్టానికి ఎవరిని నిందించలేదు. తన తప్పు వల్లే తాను కష్టపడుతున్నాడు, బాధపడుతున్నాను అనుకున్నాడు. దానికి శ్రీహరి మెచ్చి గత జన్మ గుర్తులన్నీ ఇచ్చాడనమాట. ఆ శ్లోకాలు అన్నీ చెప్పే శక్తి ఇచ్చాడు. సో బట్ లీలగా ఉంటుంది ఆ గుర్తు. ఆ శ్లోకాలన్నీ ఎగ్జాక్ట్గా రావాలంటే అప్పుడు భగవంతుడి కృప ఉండాలి. బట్ లీలగా మాత్రం నేను భక్తి చేశాను అని అది ఉంటుంది. Okay, so this constant hearing of Krishna Katha, constant chanting of the holy name, constant drinking of this Krishna Rasayanam, this is the medicine. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. The Krishna Rasayanam means Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. Hearing Krishna Katha, chanting the name, chanting the stotras, chanting shlokas, reciting kirtans, singing bhajans, discussing Krishna Leelas, and then meditating or remembering on whatever katha we hear, whatever katha we discuss, smaranam. This is the medicine. Because we heard some stories, right? In India, one lady, she was in the surgery room. Surgery was going on and she was chanting Vishnu āma-peśalam. So the patient was chanting Vishnu āma-peśalam. Surgery was happening to her and she was chanting Vishnu āma-peśalam. So if she is able to do this with some good practice and with good attention, we can also find some peace in these mantras and stutis when there are some problems. Okay. With that, we will discuss some butter stealing pastime. Okay.
ఈ వ్యాధుల గురించి అంతా విని భయం వస్తుంది కొంచెం ఆ లీల వింటే కొంచెం కృష్ణ రసాయనం.
అరే ఇవాళ మూవీ టైమింగ్ పెట్టలేదు.
మూవీ టైం 9:30
అన్నారు కదా.
అదే ఇప్పుడే సెకండ్ షో స్టార్ట్ అయింది. ఇప్పుడే 9:30.
9:30 అంటే మేము 12ంటికి చూడాలా ఇండియాలో?
మీకు 10 గంటలకి, మాకు 9:30 అంటే మీకు 10 గంటలకి.
టైటిల్స్ పడ్డాయి.
Okay, so before we actually discuss the butter stealing pastime, there's a beautiful shloka from Krishna Karnamrita that explains about Krishna's Krishna's interesting character. Okay, so what is Krishna's character? Chapalya Seema Chapalanubhavaika Seema Chaturya Seema Chaturanana Shilpa Seema Saurabhya Seema Sakaladbhuta Keli Seema Saubhagya Seema Tadidam Rajabhagya Seema Saurabhya Seema Saubhagya Seema. So what is this? What is this shloka? It sounds beautiful, but what is this? Chapalya Seema. Chapalya Seema means, Chapalyam means in Sanskrit, Chapalyam means mischief, naughty, being naughty, restlessness, wandering here and there, playful nature, mischievous, naughty. So Chapalya Seema. Seema means in Sanskrit, the word Seema means the limit. Like he's the benchmark. Okay, he's the benchmark. If somebody has to define what is the maximum limit of Chapalata, this Chapalyata, then Krishna, we have to give example of Krishna. Nobody is more mischievous, more naughty than Krishna. Chapalya Seema. చాపల్యసీమా చపలానుభవైకసీమా చాతుర్యసీమా చతురానన శిల్పసీమా సౌరభ్యసీమా సకలాద్భుతకేలిసీమా సౌభాగ్యసీమా తదిదం వ్రజభాగ్యసీమా. So all these different characters, make Krishna Avatara very interesting. Okay. So these different characters make Krishna Avatara very interesting. We don't find these characteristics in other avatars. Mischief, playfulness, cleverness, artistry, all these things we don't find in other avatars. Like Rama Avatara, for example, we never see any Leela of Ramachandra being naughty, being mischievous. Chapalya Seema, Chapalyanubhava Seema. So he, with his restlessness, with his naughtiness, he gives a beautiful experience to the Vrajavasis. Wow, look at this picture. Because we are talking about idam śarīram shatasandhi jarjaram. This time the AI tool, instead of putting young gopis pictures, has put old ladies here. Very clever.
ఇందులో మేము లేం ప్రభుస్.
మీ ఫ్యూచర్ పిక్చర్ ఇది.
ఆ మీనింగ్ లో కూడా ఎల్డర్లీ గోపీస్ అన్నారు, నాట్ యంగ్ గోపీస్ అలా.
ఎల్డర్లీ గోపీస్ ఉన్నా కూడా మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద టైమ్స్ ఏఐ టూల్ యంగ్ గోపీస్ నే పెడుతుంది. మరి ఈసారి ఎందుకో దానికి కూడా తెలిసింది ఇదం శరీరం. వీళ్ళందరికీ కాల్లో ఉన్న వాళ్ళందరికీ వాళ్ళ ఫ్యూచర్ ఫోటో చూపించాలనుకుందాం.
ఇప్పుడు ఆ మూడ్ లో ఉన్నాం కదా, అదే మూడ్ లో పిక్ తీసుకొస్తుంది, కంటిన్యూ చేస్తాం.
ఇలా చూసుకోండి, ఎవరెవరో చూసుకోండి మీరే.
మేము అస్సలు ఏం ప్రభు, ఎవరం లేము అసలు.
చాతుర్య సీమ. నెక్స్ట్ వన్ ఈజ్ చాతుర్య సీమ. Okay, Chapalya, then Chaturya. Chaturya is cleverness, intelligence. So when gopis go to Yashodamma and complain, we all have seen how cleverly Krishna tries to escape. He always tells some lies, and he denies the complaints of the gopis. So he is very, very intelligent. We have seen how one day the gopis were complaining to Yashodamma that if we keep separate milk, yogurt and butter for our husbands, Krishna steals that only. Then Yashodamma was smiling in her inside, looking at the intelligence of Krishna. Chaturya. Chaturya Seema. Chaturya Seema, Chaturanana Shilpa Seema. Anana means his face. Chaturanana. Chatura means beautiful. So there are two meanings, the two ways how we can interpret this line. Chaturanana Shilpa Seema. One is Chatura plus Anana. Beautiful face. Shilpa Seema. Shilpa means his body. Seema. Krishna's body is the benchmark or is the limit for beauty. If we have to define the maximum limits of beauty, that is Krishna's body. Chaturanana Shilpa Seema. Another way to interpret this line is Chaturanana means Brahma. The four Chatur Chatur means four in Sanskrit. Anana is head. Four-faced Brahma. So this is the creation of Brahma. Look at the interesting thing here. In Vrindavan, people believe that Brahma created Krishna. The reality is Krishna created Brahma. But in Vrindavan, because Vrajavasis, they don't consider Krishna as God, they consider him as one among them, like a normal human being. They consider that Brahma created Krishna. So this is the beauty, this is the masterpiece or masterpiece creation of Brahma. The best creation of Brahma. If we have to define what is the best creation of Brahma, that is Krishna's body. Chaturanana Shilpa Seema. Wow. అసలు చూడలేకపోతున్నా కదా ఈ ఎల్డర్లీ గోపీస్ ఫోటోలు. మార్చాలి నెక్స్ట్ టైం నుంచి. Saurabhya Seema. Saurabhyam means fragrance. Saurabham. Saurabham means fragrance. So he's full of this Saurabham, the fragrance, externally and internally. Externally, he's wearing the Vanamala, Vaijayanti Mala. That's why there is external fragrance. And internal fragrance, his good qualities, his Vatsalyam, his Karunyam, his Madhuryam, his Audaryam, his Saundaryam, his Saushilyam. All these Kalyana Gunas make him an embodiment of Saurabham. So his internal beauty is Saurabham. More than the external beauty or external fragrance, his internal beauty is the Saurabham. Saurabhya Seema. Sakala Adbhuta Keli Seema. Sakala Adbhuta Keli Seema. Nobody can play the way Krishna plays. Wonderful games, hide and seek, hockey. We discussed how wonderful Krishna plays those games. Lot of cheating, lot of
threatening.
threatening. Do you know who am I? I'm the son of Nanda Maharaj. I'm the future king. And promise, father promise. Sakala Adbhuta Keli Seema. And then the last one, Saubhagya Seema. Saubhagyam, auspiciousness, good fortune. Wherever Krishna is there, there is auspiciousness. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, yatra Partho Dhanurdaraha, tatra Shrir Vijayo Bhute Dhruva Niti. Wherever there is Krishna, there is victory, opulence, morality, and extraordinary power. Auspiciousness, Saubhagya Seema. Tadidam Vrajabhagya Seema. This is the fortune of all the Vrajavasis. The Chaturya Seema, Chapalya Seema, Saurabhya Seema, Saubhagya Seema. This is the Bhagya of the Vrajavasis. If somebody has to define what is the maximum or who is most fortunate in the entire world, that means the residents of Vrindavan are the most fortunate. Bhagya Seema. Why? Because they have Krishna with them, who is exhibiting Chapalya Seema, Chaturya Seema, Saurabhya Seema, Saubhagya Seema. He is the ultimate limit of mischief, the singular limit of experience for those restless with love, the absolute limit of cleverness, and the zenith of the Creator's artistry. He is the furthest limit of sweetness, is the ultimate limit of all astonishing pastimes, the boundless limit of all auspicious charm. He standing here before us is the ultimate limit of Vraja's fortune. So this is just a trailer. This is not the actual movie. So let's sing the shloka and then we'll go to the actual movie. Chapalya Seema Chapalanubhavaika Seema
Chapalya Seema Chapalanubhavaika Seema
Chaturya Seema Chaturanana Shilpa Seema
Chaturya Seema Chaturanana Shilpa Seema
Saurabhya Seema Sakaladbhuta Keli Seema
Saurabhya Seema Sakaladbhuta Keli Seema
Saubhagya Seema Tadidam Vrajabhagya Seema.
Saubhagya Seema Tadidam Vrajabhagya Seema.
3 times. Chapalya Seema Chapalanubhavaika Seema
Chapalya Seema Chapalanubhavaika Seema
Chaturya Seema Chaturanana Shilpa Seema
Chaturya Seema Chaturanana Shilpa Seema
Saurabhya Seema Sakaladbhuta Keli Seema
Saurabhya Seema Sakaladbhuta Keli Seema
Saubhagya Seema Tadidam Vrajabhagya Seema
Saubhagya Seema Tadidam Vrajabhagya Seema
Chapalya Seema Chapalanubhavaika Seema
Chapalya Seema Chapalanubhavaika Seema
Chaturya Seema Chaturanana Shilpa Seema
Chaturya Seema Chaturanana Shilpa Seema
Saurabhya Seema Sakaladbhuta Keli Seema
Saurabhya Seema Sakaladbhuta Keli Seema
Saubhagya Seema Tadidam Vrajabhagya Seema
Saubhagya Seema Tadidam Vrajabhagya Seema.
Okay. అంటే కృష్ణుడు తన వెన్న దొంగిలించే లీలలు, గోపికల చీరలు ఎత్తుకెళ్ళే లీలలు, గొప్ప బాలులతోటి పిచ్చి పిచ్చి ఆటలు ఆడే లీలలు, ఇవన్నీ ఎంత చాతుర్యంగా చాపల్యతతోటి ఎంత అందంగా ఎంత ముద్దుగా ఎంత ఆహ్లాదంగా అనిపిస్తాయో చెప్తున్నాడు బిల్వమంగళ ఠాకూరు. బిగినింగ్ లో ఉంటుంది కృష్ణ కర్ణామృతం బుక్ లో. దిస్ ఇస్ ద బుక్, తెలుగు బుక్. యూ కెన్ సీ హియర్ కృష్ణ కర్ణామృత బుక్. దీంట్లో బిగినింగ్ ఇక్కడ ఉంటుంది ఆ శ్లోక, తెలుగు శ్లోక. దాన్ని మీ అందరి కోసం కష్టపడి నేను ఇంగ్లీష్లో నోట్బుక్ వెళ్ళాము, స్లైడ్స్, ఇమేజెస్ అన్ని చేశాను.
పబ్లిషర్ ఎవరండి? పబ్లిషర్ అంటే నా దగ్గర ఉంది కానీ చాలా చిన్న బుక్కే, జస్ట్ ఒక 90 పేజెస్ ఉంది నా దగ్గర.
వ్యాఖ్యానము టీకే చూడామణి, ప్రచురణ టీకేఐ నరసింహాచార్యులు.
పబ్లిషర్
ఇది ఎవరంటే ఇది రామానుజ శ్రీ వైష్ణవ సంప్రదాయ భక్తులే.
ఓకే, వాళ్ళదా?
వాళ్ళది.
గ్రూప్ లో అది పబ్లిషర్ అడ్రస్ పెట్టండి, కాపీస్ అవైలబుల్ విత్ అని ఉంటది కదా.
పెడతాను నేను మీకు అది. యా. సో ప్రతులకు జిఆర్
వాళ్ళదే ఇది కూడా ఉందా?
సీతానగరము ఫోన్ నెంబర్ అంతా ఉంది, నేను పెడతానండి మీకు అది. పెడతాను.
రామకర్ణామృతం కూడా ఉందా వాళ్ళదే?
ఉంది, రామకర్ణామృతం కూడా ఉంది.
GReducation.com కొడితే దొరుకుద్ది నాకు. GReducation.com లో దొరుకుద్ది.
జిఆర్ ఎడ్యుకేషనల్ వెబ్సైట్ లోనా?
అది వాళ్ళదే అయితే అందులో ఉంది.
ఓకే.
స్వామివారి వెంకటేశ్వర స్వామి టెంపుల్ లో కూడా ఉంటాయి.
ఓకే. So for the next 10-15 minutes, we will discuss a nice butter stealing pastime of Krishna. This is again a shloka from Krishna Karnamrita, Sri Krishna Karnamrita by Bilvamangal Thakur, Leela Shuka Bilvamangal Thakur. So this is the shloka in Telugu, Devanagari, English. So whatever language you want to follow, you can follow. Okay, so the shloka goes like this. Pite pita nishanna bhalakagale tishtan sagopalakaha yantrantasthita dugdha bhandamavakrishya achadya gantaravam vaktropanta krutanjalihi कृतशिरः कम्पन् पिबन् यप्पयः पायादागत गोपीनयनयोर् घण्डूषपूत्कारकृत्. So let's see what Krishna is doing here. Pite pita nishanna balaka gale tishtan sagopalakaha. So one day Krishna decided to go to one gopi's home to steal butter. And whenever most of the times, Krishna goes to gopi's homes to steal butter, he always takes his friends with him. He never goes alone. Because he needs help, right? Either that or if there is an opportunity, he will escape, and he will make his friends as the thieves. So chaturata, chaturya sima, chaturya sima, chaturya sima, chaturanana shilpa sima. So he's most beautiful, and then he's most clever. So one day he went to a gopis home, and then he went to gopis home with his gopa boy friends to steal butter, to steal milk and butter both. Okay. And then he doesn't find any butter pots on the floor. Then he looks everywhere, and finally he finds some butter pot hanging from the ceiling. Then he was only 2 or 3 years old, so how can he reach that high? So that Krishna, who has killed Putana when he was 7 years old, is not able to reach that butter pot hanging from the ceiling. Okay, so this is our supreme God, Devadideva, Bhagavan Sri Krishna. So then what did he do? Pite pita nishanna gopalaka gale tishtan sa gopalakaha. Pite. So he found one wooden stool there. And then he asked one of his friends to uh, to stand on that wooden stool and bend, so that he can climb up on the shoulders, on the neck of that boy, and try to reach the butter pot. Pite. Pite means the wooden stool. Pita nishanna, standing on that pita, that boy, Gopa, the Gopa boy friend, Balaka. Gale. Gale means the neck. Kantam, neck. Gale, tishtan, standing. Tishtan means standing. Standing on the neck or shoulders of that Gopabai. Sa Gopalakaha, or Gopala. What did he do? So here word for word meaning you have Pite on the stool, Pita Nishanna seated on the stool, Balaka Gale on the neck or shoulders of the boy, Tishtan standing.
Feet in Hindi actually means the back portion of the body actually.
No, but this
Feet.
is Sanskrit word, not Hindi.
I mean,
This is Sanskrit.
Hindi came from Sanskrit only, but I don't know.
No, Hindi is different, Sanskrit is different.
No, it's originated from Sanskrit only. The words are maximum same only, I'm saying. So feet, I don't know. Pita is correct, that stool, but
Yeah.
feet is the back of the body.
No,
That's
that
the
is in
main-
Hindi, not in Sanskrit. There are some words that are similar. For example, in Telugu also, there are many words that are similar, but there are so many words that are completely different. They sound the same, but the meaning is completely different. So standing
తెలుగులో పీట అంటాం మనం. తెలుగులో
పీట.
పీట అంటాం మనం.
Yeah.
తెలుగులో పీట అంటాం కదా.
అవును, తెలుగులో పీట అంటాం. Yeah. So standing on the shoulders or the neck of the boy, the Gopa boy, Krishna is trying to catch this butter pot. But this Gopi, she was very clever. She knows that Krishna will come to steal butter, and she was probably in her backyard or somewhere, or maybe next door neighbor home, chatting with the next door neighbor home, or in the backyard doing some work, and she wants to find, when Krishna is coming, she wants to find and catch him red-handed. That's why she ties some bells to the butter pot. So that when Krishna comes there to steal butter, the bell will ring, the ghanta will ring, and she can notice that Krishna is there, and she can go and catch Krishna. Yantrantastita dhugda bandam avakrishya achadya gantaravam. Yantra. Yantra means the tool. Now Krishna is playing, Krishna is doing his work, he's doing his job. Now what is the tool for him here? The butter pot is the tool, yantra. See, for IT engineer, what is his yantra? The laptop is his yantra. For a electrician, what is his yantra? The screwdriver, the different tools are his yantra. For a tailor, what is his yantra? The sewing machine is the yantra. Similarly, for Krishna, who is on the job, who is on the duty of stealing butter, what is the yantra? The butter pot is the yantra. Yantrantastita. Yantra antastita. What is there inside that yantra, butter pot? What is there? Dugda. Dugda bhandam. Dugda bhandam. There is an ocean of milk. Ocean. That means the butter pot is full of milk. So this time instead of butter, he is on a mission to steal milk. Dugda bhandam. Yantrantastita dugda bhandam avakrishya. Avakrishya means by holding, by catching it. Achadya gantaravam. And as soon as the bell was ringing, then the gopis started coming. Now Krishna understood everything, that the gopi is very clever. She wanted to catch Krishna as soon as the bell rings. Now to stop the bell ringing, you know what Krishna did? That Vibhuja Shama Sundara became Chaturbuja Shama Sundara. Instead of 2 hands, he got 4 hands now. So with 2 hands, he was holding that bell so that it doesn't ring. And then with other 2 hands, he was holding the butter pot. So this is a beautiful thing. Chaturbuja, he became Chaturbuja Shama Sundara. And then, but the gopis came because it rang once, right? It rang once, and then he wanted to stop from ringing further. But as soon as it rang once, the gopis came. Yantrantastita, situated within the mechanical swing rope network. Dugda bhandam. Oh, bhandam is the pot. Okay. Yantrantastita. Yantra means that whole thing is called yantra. The ropes, the pot, everything, that whole thing. Avakrishya, drawing near. Achadya gantaravam, covering that bell with his hands. Vaktropanta kritanjali kritashira kampan pibanyappayaha. Vaktropanta kritanjali kritashira kampan pibanyappayaha. This is a beautiful line here. Vaktropanta, near the mouth. In Bhagavad Gita, there is a shloka. Aneka vaktra nayanam, anekadbhuta darshanam. Aneka vaktra nayanam, anekadbhuta darshanam. In 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna shows universal Vishwarupa Sandarshana form, universal form. Arjuna describes how is that form. Aneka Vaktra Nayanam, Aneka Adbhuta Darshanam. So that Vaktra is mouth. Aneka Vaktra Nayanam. Many, many mouths, many, many eyes in universal form. So coming from that shloka, Vaktra. Vaktra means mouth. Upanta, near. Like Upavasa. Upavasa means to stay near God. Upanta. Vaktra Upanta. Near the mouth. Vaktropanta Kritanjali. Kritashira Kampan Pibanyapayaha. Kritanjali. Making folded cupped hands. Okay, holding the butter pot with two hands. Not butter, milk pot. With two hands. Kritanjali. కృతాంజలి మనకి ఇక్కడ హనుమాన్ శ్లోకంలో వస్తుంది కదా. ఏంటా శ్లోకం? ఎత్ర రఘునాథ కీర్తనం తత్ర తత్ర కృతమస్తకాంజలిం బాష్పవారి పరిపూర్ణలోచనం. కృతమస్తక అంజలిం. So there Hanuma, he was holding his both hands together on his forehead in a pranama posture. So Kritanjali. There Kritamastakānjali, here Kritanjali. Making folded cupped hands. Kritashira Kampan, making a shaking, trembling of the head in joyous satisfaction. That means when as Krishna, he was holding that butter pot and the milk pot and drinking. He was drinking a little bit and then he was still holding that milk pot in his hands and he was saying, very tasty, very tasty. He was shaking his head up and down, left and right like this. With smiling, he was shaking his head like this. That is the meaning of that next line. Kritashira Kampan. Kampan means to shake. Kritashira. Shiras means the head. So he was shaking his head up and down, indicating joyous satisfaction, happiness, to indicate happiness. See, if it is at home, Yashodamma gives only one glass of milk. And sometimes Yashodamma says, if Krishna asks for milk during the middle of the day, Yashodamma says, no milk now. Milk is available only in the morning and evening. Because Yashodamma knows too much drinking of milk is not good. But our Lala, he wants to drink milk whenever he wants. That's why he's on a mission of stealing milk also. Kritashira Kampan Pibhanya Payaha. Payaha means milk. So holding the milk pot with his two hands, and as he was drinking, he was relishing, and he was showing his happiness to his friends by shaking, by moving his head up and down. Very tasty. Piban, drinking. See how beautiful Krishna is here. This is what is Chaturanana Shilpa Seema. Chaturiya Seema, Chaturanana Shilpa Seema. Next. Okay, actually here also, when I prepared these slides, right? Initially it has put elderly gopis here. Then I asked the AI tool to replace that image with young gopis. Okay. Payadagata gopika nayanayor Gandushaputakrit Putkarakrit Gandusha Putkara. So what did our Lala do? As soon as the gopis saw him, uh, Krishna, as he was drinking milk with that milk pot, his mouth was full of milk. And as soon as the gopis came, he wanted to escape, right? So he spit all of that milk directly into the eyes of the gopis, so that the gopis will close their eyes to protect their eyes, and then in that time Krishna will run away. Payadagata gopika nayanayor gandusha putkara krit. Putkara means to spit. Putkara krit. Gandusha putkara krit. Gandusha means the mouth full. The mouth full with mouth filled with milk. Agata gopika, as the gopis are approaching. Nayanayo, into the eyes of the gopis. Gandusha putkara krit, mouth filled with milk. Putkara krit. Gandusha is mouth filled with milk. Putkara krit. He spit all of that milk into the eyes of the gopis. So this is a summary of the shloka. So first Krishna made a little human pyramid. He asked one of his friends to uh, sit and bend or stand and bend on that step stool, that wooden stool. And then he assumed Chaturbuja Shamasundara form, four-handed form. With two hands he was holding the bell from ringing, and then with the other two hands he was holding the butter pot and trying to drink. And as he was drinking, he was experiencing great happiness, and he was showing that happiness by shaking his head up and down. And then as the gopis were coming, he spit the milk into the eyes of the gopis and he escaped. So that Sriman Narayana, who is the creator, supreme creator, he had to do all this. The sustainer of the universe, he needed a wooden stool to catch that butter pot. Pita Nishanna. That all-knowing and all-seeing Krishna. Vedaham samatitani vartamanani charjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kaschana. I know past, present and future, all-knowing. He has to physically stop that bell from ringing. Achadya Gantaravam. And he who gives liberation to everybody, Mukti, he is Mukunda, Muktim Dadati the Mukunda. He was under the fear of getting caught by the gopis. So he spit milk into their eyes and then he escaped. So this is Krishna's charm, Chapalyata. So here we can see everything, what Krishna was doing. Except the Chaturbuja form, we can see everything. Payad means may that Krishna, may that Balagopal protect us. Okay, so let's recite the shloka. This is a little different meter.
ఇది ఆ శ్లోకం మీటర్ కదా మనకి బబువా
Ramo Nama Babuva. Yes, almost shlokam meter. Pite pita nishanna bhalakagale.
पीते पीते निषन्न बालकगले
Tishtan sagopalakah.
तिष्ठन् सगोपालकः
Yantrantastita dugdha bhandama avakrushya.
यन्त्रान्तरस्तदुग्धभाण्डमकृष्य
Achadya gantaaravam.
आद्यगन्तारवम्
Vaktropanta kritanjaliः.
वक्त्रोपान्तकृताञ्जलिः
Kritashira kampan pibanyapayah.
कृतशिरकम्पन् पिबन् पयः
Payadhagata gopika nayanayor.
आगतगोपिकानयनयोर्
Gandushaputkara-krit.
गण्डूषपुत्कारकृत्
Okay, we'll do 3 times. Pite pita nishanna balakagale.
पीते निषण्ण बालकगले
Tishtan sagopalakah.
तिष्ठन् गोपालकः
Yantrantastita dugdha bhandamavakrushya.
यन्त्रान्तस्थितदुग्धभाण्डमवकृष्य
Achadya gantaaravam.
आचार्यघण्टारवम्
Vaktropanta kritanjaliः.
वक्त्रोपान्तकृताञ्जलिः
Kritashira kampan pibanyapayah.
कृतशिरकम्पन् पिबन्यः पयः
Payadagata gopika nayanayor.
आगतगोपिकानयनयोर्
Gandushaputkara-krit.
गण्डूषपुत्कारकृत्
Pite pita nishanna bhalakagale.
पीते निषण्णबालकगले
Tishtan sagopalakah.
तिष्ठन् गोपालकः
Yantrantastita dugdha bhandamavakrushya.
यन्त्रान्तस्थितदुग्धभाण्डमवकृष्य
Achadya gantaaravam.
आचार्यघण्टारवम्
Vaktropanta kritanjaliः.
वक्त्रोपान्तकृताञ्जलिः
Kritashira kampan pibanyapayah.
कृतशिरकम्पन् पिबन्यः पयः
Payadagata gopika nayanayor.
आगतगोपिकानयनयोर्
Gandushaputkara-krit.
गण्डूषपुत्कारकृत्
Yeah. Sudha Mataji, మీరు చదువుతారా? చదవండి.
पीटे पीट निशन्नि बालकगले तिष्ठन् स गोपालकः यन्त्रान्तस्थितदुग्धभाण्डम् आवकृष्यात् आच्छाद्य घण्टारवम् वक्त्रोपान्तकृताञ्जलिः कृतशिरः कम्पन् पिबन् यः पयः पायादागात गोपिका नयनयोर् गण्डूषपूत्कारकृत्. हरे
Very good.
कृष्ण प्रभु.
Very good. Yeah, good. So, because the acharyas below Mangal Thakur, they have spent a lot of time, worked very hard in writing these wonderful, beautiful shlokas. At least if we recite 3 times, something we will remember. We don't have to memorize the entire shloka, but at least sometime something we will remember. So,
గంట మీద రెండో పద్యం అనుకుంటానండి అది.
గంట మీదనా ఇంకో పద్యం? ఇంకో పద్యం ఏమో
అదే గంటని వద్దు వాయించద్దు అంటాడు కదా, కానీ అతను తింటున్నప్పుడు నైవేద్యం అని చెప్పి గంటలు కొడతాయి కదా, మీరే చెప్పారు.
ఇంకోటి ఉంది. అవును, ఇంకో శ్లోకం ఉంది. అవును, ఇంకో రోజు అది కూడా చేద్దాం. Yeah. Yes, this is the beautiful Makanchor Leela. Hope you all liked it.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
గోలోకానికి వెళ్తే ఇవన్నీ పాడుకోవచ్చండి, ఏముండవు అక్కడ?
ఇవన్నీ పాడుకోవడమే. ఇవన్నీ పాడుకోవడానికి అక్కడికి వెళ్ళేది. ఇవన్నీ పాడుకోవడం కాదు, కృష్ణుడితో
ట్రైనింగ్
పాటు.
అంటారా?
ఇది ట్రైనింగ్. కృష్ణుడితో పాటు మనం వెన్న దొంగిలించడానికి,
ట్రైనింగ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ అన్నమాట ఇది.
పాలు దొంగిలించడానికి. ఇప్పుడు ఆ ఫోటోలో ఒక గొప్ప బాలుడు ఇలా స్టూల్ మీద ఇలా వంగి ఉంటాడు కదా, అది మీరే అవ్వచ్చు.
ఓకే, వెరీ గుడ్.
అది మీరే అవ్వచ్చు.
ఇవన్నీ సూట్ కేస్ లో పెట్టుకోవాలి.
ఇవన్నీ సూట్ కేసులో పెట్టుకోవాలి. ఈ శ్లోకాలు, ఈ స్లైడ్స్, ఈ ప్రింట్అవుట్లు తీసి
వెళ్ళేటప్పుడు
ప్రింట్అవుట్ తీసి పెట్టుకోండి. బట్ వెరీ బ్యూటిఫుల్.
పెన్ డ్రైవ్ అండి, అన్ని ప్రింటింగ్లు కుదరవు, అన్ని పెన్ డ్రైవ్లే.
పెన్ డ్రైవ్. అప్పటికల్లా ఎలాన్ మస్క్ బ్రెయిన్ లో పెట్టే చిప్ ఇస్తాడు. ఇవన్నీ ఆ బ్రెయిన్ లో పెట్టేసుకొని వెళ్ళిపోవచ్చు. Yeah. Okay. I think we will stop here. Mangalam Kausalendraya Mahaniya Gunatmane Chakravarti Tanujaya Sarvabhaumaya Mangalam. Mukunda-Mālā Kulshekara Alvar Virachita Mukunda-Mālā-Stotra ki Jai. Leela Shuka Bilva Mangal Thakur Virachita Krishna Karnamritam ki Jai. Sri Krishna Katamritam ki Jai. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
See you all tomorrow. Yeah.
Prabhuji.